Hi everyone, it's Joan from Joan's Designs and Creations. I'm glad you can join me today. Today we are going to make a cake that's decorated with a bee theme. I have a styrofoam block that is cut to 3.5 inches high and is a 4-inch round piece. First you'll see as I'm cutting out my yellow, I square it up and then I find out it's too short. So I have to rework it and smooth it up, roll it out again, reshape it, and so that I can cut it to the size that I need. So definitely measure twice, cut once. But at least in clay, it's not a big deal. So I see I'm just a little bit short, so I rolled out some more. And then I square it off so that it's easy to attach. Then I just add some tacky glue to my styrofoam. This is a coarse styrofoam block. So I like to add my tacky glue to it so that I'm sure that the clay will stick to it. So I just add my tacky glue to all around the sides of the styrofoam. And then I pull up my clay and I set it along the bottom edge because I want it to lay flat. I don't know if you noticed or not, but the top wasn't very smooth and level, but that's okay because I'm going to be adding other clay on top of it and some spackle, so I'm okay with it not being flat. So I just smooth out the sides, and I'm going to be adding a black drippage to this and a border, so I'm not worried about it being perfectly smooth. As it dries, it'll become smoother, but I have no air pockets in there, and that's the big thing that I watch. Now I'm determining which type of cutter I'm going to use to make my drip. So I get out my black, and this is a softer black. But before I start using that, I'm going to add some tacky glue to my base, and that is a 6x6 round, or 6 round. And I cut a piece of glitter foam sheet, and then I attached my cake piece to the glitter foam sheet that is on a cake board. That's a 6 round. So I just work my black, and then I start to roll it out, make it smooth, make it even in size. Whenever I have it to the size that I want, I start looking for my X-Acto knife. And of course, it's not where it should be. I only have myself to blame for that because I'm the only one who uses my tools. I always keep it in the bottom drawer of my toolbox, but it wasn't there. But I found a rotary cutter, and I had just got that one from Hobby Lobby whenever I was there last week on one of my trips there. So I just cut out some wavy lines. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I just smooth it out and then lay it on top, and I let it fall down. I help it some, but gravity takes it down mainly. And it doesn't, again, have to be perfect. So I just lay that down. Put my tool back where it's supposed to be. Then I just put my black clay away because I don't want it to sit out. Then I add my spackle topping, my icing to it. I just go around the sides with a little swirl. And when I do a design on a cake, I just let my hands do whatever. I don't really have a set pattern, especially using the spackle. When I'm doing a wedding cake or a birthday cake, I'll take more time and plan things out. But whenever I'm doing a spackle cake, you're going to put stuff on top of it. So it's not going to make that much of a difference on what kind of design you use. So never be afraid to just get in there and squirt that spackle into different designs. Now I'm going to add on some black sprinkles. I found my X-Acto knife. It was off to the side. So now I can put that back where it is. So now I got to search for my tweezers. So I find those, put them in my little tray, and then I individually put my sprinkles on. I like to do this because then it spreads them apart, and then you don't have a bunch of sprinkles all in one area. And then I find if I place them, you hardly use any sprinkles because you don't have to worry about them falling on the floor or just bunching together. and ruining your design. So you use less product, and it's better on your eyes. It's easier to see the pieces. So then after I get my black, then I do my yellow. And you see how small those pieces are. Then I got a little lazy, and I did start adding them a little bit at a time. And then, of course, they fall all over, and then I have to pick them up. But then I went back to the tweezers, just because I know that's the best way to do it, because I can control it better. So you can just see the yellow and the black sprinkles coming together to give those colors of a bee. And I'm not worrying about putting them too much in the middle, because that's where I'm going to add my other decorations. Put those aside. Of course, can't pick them up because they're so tiny. Put those away, and then I'll put my black ones. So you can see that I hardly used any sprinkles, but you can see them on the cake. So put those away, get them out of the table, and then you can see I added those on there. Next, I add my beehive off to the side a little, but just added that to the top. Then I figured I better lift it up some so I could see a little better. And then I have my stick with some honey and a bee on it. And then I have my little spoon that I made with a little bit of spackle icing and another bee, and then a piece of honey with another little bee on it. So I'm happy with that. I made my little bow with my bee ribbon. I love this one. I saw it at Sam's Club. I had to buy it. I just love them. I don't know why. I hate bees, but I like to decorate with it. Just add some super glue to add my bow onto that spackle. Hold it there a minute so it stays in place. And there's the almost finished product. And then all I did was added a piece of black trim around the bottom. And there you have it, a bee cake. Thank you for joining me.